Hey Martin, how are you?
Hello, Alex. I'm fine. How are you too?
I'm good, thank you.
Great.
It's nice house. I like that.
Ah,
Like the stairs.
yeah, yeah.
Where are you based?
Sydney.
Oh,
Sydney.
nice.
Oh, I forgot that you were in Western Australia. You are in Perth, are you?
Yes, yeah,
So
very.
the time, I thought it was 10 a.m. our time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. I actually, a few people came back to me and they said, oh, it looks like it was 12. And I said, okay, it's
Ah,
10.
yeah.
And I think it was, yeah, a little bit of confusion. I'm not sure what happened. Sometimes, yeah, it can be glitch. I checked everything, all platforms, and
Hmm.
looks okay. That means hopefully we will have people coming at 10, not at 12.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I will wait 1 more minute and we will
Yeah.
start on time and
All
people
right.
will slowly come in the room afterwards. That's fine. And what do you do, Martin?
Um, what I do is I help people to publish books,
Oh,
write and
nice.
publish non-fiction books. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially my target is business coaches and
Yeah.
consultants and
Yeah.
small business owners. Yeah,
Oh, that's beautiful. Hi, Kerry. How are you? Oh, that's nice. I like, yeah, I think
yeah.
book publishers is a lot of people. They're actually writing the books right now.
Yeah, people just everyone wants to write a book, but I don't know why they believe it's such a big job. Many of them want to do, but they never do.
Yeah.
That's my problem. That's what I want to convince people to
Thank
jump
you.
in and do it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting because I started to write my book. Like I have the chapters and like I know what I want to write for like last 4 years, but it's just
Yeah,
to
that's
grab it and
that's the
find
thing.
the time. It's yeah,
Yeah, but it's so simple. You can do the book writing. You can write a book
yeah.
on a weekend. And get, yeah,
Yeah,
you can,
I'm working over the weekends because
oh,
I do
okay.
because
I
I
mean,
do
2 days.
podcasting. Yeah.
You can do
Anyway,
2 days. Yeah,
thank you. I will talk to you later. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Let's talk
interesting.
about that later.
Kerry,
Okay,
welcome. Pete,
okay.
welcome. Leighton,
Hey,
Thank you.
how you
guys.
going?
Yeah, it will be nice to have you here. If you want to interact with the room, it's always great. That means
Yeah.
I will start. Probably I will just let people in during the session because I know your time is valuable. That means we will start on time. It's 10:01, and is recording is going. It's for people they actually can't make it today. They ask me for a recording. If you're fine with that, if not, please feel free to turn off your camera. But it will be nice to have you. And what is first of all, probably the great thing to say is, I would like to acknowledge that you're here because I really love to talk to people. They are in personal development and they are interested to grow. And I believe all of us here, we want to achieve something greater and better. And we really see that, there is more out there and always developing and learning new skills. I think it's the part of that. And yeah, welcome on this journey with me. And I would like to talk about sales today because I'm sure you noticed that was sales masterclass, but I will take it a little bit different because, some people here probably attended already some sales masterclasses. It was more about real steps and structure and was like what to do before we start to sell. But today, I think we need to get a little bit back at the beginning and start to understand how to actually become successful in sales and what we should actually talk about when we talk about sales as a topic. That means I will clarify first and give you some contrasted examples, and I will show you a few steps that are necessary for being successful in business and a few structures and processes that can help you in the future or they can help you from today. That means thank you very much. And let's start. I love to start with sales in 1995 and sales in 2022. And I'm sure when you walk into showroom, car sales person or car sales house. And there were so many people, they started to compete, because you came in and you have money to spend. That means they were really sleazy and pushy. And there was no music. No one really cared how you feel. It was all about, what, you came in, you want to buy, I'm going to sell you something today and whatever it will be, but I will sell you something. It was more about the KPIs. It was more about this is the result I need to get today. It was all very much numbers and it was all what they measured. and you had finally, you're sitting in the room, there are 2 or 3 people in the room, you know, pushing you to do actually sales. No one cares what color of the car you want. And there is one person, you know, the owner of the shop comes and block the doors. You can't get out. You just need to sign. And when you move to 2022, you're walking into car seller, and it's all about nice music, warmth, beautiful atmosphere, easy to make decisions, you know, and asking you actually what you want, and asking you so many questions about why do you even want a new car? How are you going to use it? What are you looking to fulfill with a new car? You know, you're using that for fun, for traveling, or for work. Like, really, people really care. And that's the difference. When you're going 1995, they didn't care. And 2022, people really care how you feel. And people really care that you will get the value, and they will actually give you value with the sales. That means it's all about you as a person that is going to buy. It's all about you as a prospect that needs to be fulfilled and valued. It's not anymore about just numbers. And I think people stay stuck in 1995 with mindset. That means when I spoke with people, yesterday I spoke with a client, and when I mentioned sales and sales masterclass, they was like, no, I don't want to do sales. And I was like, why? And you can see they're still in 1995 mindset. I mean, it's all about, oh, I don't want to be that sleazy. I don't want to be pushy. You know, that cheating and stuff, you know, I just don't like to sell. Like, people will come to me when, you know, I have something and they will buy, but it's not true. People never just come to you, especially first 5 years of business. People just don't come to you and buy because they think they need it. People search on Google, that's right. But there is so much competition, and there's so many people doing, you know, same thing, same industries, and the advertisement works totally different way, like in 1995. That means we really need to show people today how we care, how we really care about what they want, how we really care to solve their problem. And I just want to point it out as a major difference in sales. That means when we are in 2022 mindset, is all about client's value. It's there. We need to add value to the client. And that's the most important change that happened. And I was thinking also about sales, you know, how easy it was to sell some brands. I started with, I know it's not probably the best thing to say, but yes, I was selling Finlandia and Daniels. And it was, you know, competition was Absolut Vodka to Finlandia. And there is no difference, you know, I was thinking, like, how can I sell it? How can I tell people this is better? Or how can I show people, you know, they will get more value? But it wasn't about that. It was more about learning more negotiation skills and understand actually how these different brands can bring them value. That means it was just find the ways to measure maybe what value they get now when they sell the alcohol. It was really hard to sell. But after that, I moved to Red Bull, and it was so easy to sell. And honestly, it wasn't about just that I like it. I never really drink Red Bull. My boss was always angry because I never really drink it. And I had my Nescafe can in my car, and he was losing it always when he saw me. But it wasn't about me, you know, drinking that or liking that, but it was about me to trust the brand. It was all about my mindset that I saw what Red Bull is able to do. It was not anymore about product. It was more about how they make people to be happy and overcome challenges and attend all these amazing events and give them more, you know, from the marketing perspective and experience. It was actually all aligned with me because I love traveling, I love adventure, I love to try new things. And I realized it's all about alignment with the brand. That means in your business or in your maybe work or career, you really must be aligned. You need to trust the brand. You need to trust to, like, what you're selling is actually adding some kind of value. And that's probably some kind of like a contrast, you know, how we can see it. Of course, I didn't see any value to drink, you know, alcohol. It was just, for me, it was that time when I was 24, it was just party, you know, it was just alcohol that is not really healthy and good. I mean, it was, and there was nothing in marketing that will be like, oh, you need to experience this. But in Red Bull, it was like, yes, you need to experience that. You need to come and see it because it's amazing. And I think that's the difference when we actually sell ourselves as well, because we can't find it straight away, you know, we are amazing or we are adding amazing value. I mean, we need to really take a step back and go into that brand or building our services or products. And today I would like to talk about it. This was kind of like contrast and stories, just to give you an overview how I see it and how I teach it. That means I'm teaching sales from that mindset perspective first. If we don't take care of mindset or attitudes, it's not going to be successful sell. And I think yesterday someone told me it's not about tools, it's not about structures and systems you have, it's all about attitude. And I just sent it to my clients. It was a funny thing because I was like, hey guys, you didn't book the session and you're paying me. And I said, it's not about, tools and you have access to frameworks, but it's about your attitude. And they just straight away sent me an email back, can I book the session for Monday? And I was laughing because it's so true. It's our attitude, how we actually grab it, approach it, and what we actually, how we will take care of people, how we will show them that we really care. I mean, that's kind of major, I would say major message from the class, but I would like to go to key elements basically that I created. I will take the pen because usually I share the slides, but I realized that I would like to see you guys today and I would like to have a little bit different class. That will be great. That means if you can't see it, let me know, okay? That means first thing what we talk about right now is mindset. What people make as a mistake, or what is the major mistake, is they don't have the right mindset. And if you're here and you're happy to interact, can you just tell me or share with me, what do you think is the right mindset?
Believing in what you're selling, I suppose. Being positive.
Sorry, I didn't.
Positivity and believing in what you're selling.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, beliefs. Positive. Anyone else?
I would say also then detachment from a desperation needs to happen.
That's a big one. Thank you for that. That's absolutely a big one, Leighton. Thank you very much for sharing, because what I realized when I started business, when we're starting, like I'm 20 years in business, it's totally different now. But I was thinking a lot of time, what was the difference? Why I just struggled so much first year? Why it just didn't work? And every time when I approached the sales conversation, I was like, dollars, numbers, I need to sell. Today I need to have results. And it was basically 1995 thinking about sales. It was KPI, result, and I don't care, I add value. And I realized that was the massive mistake I was doing, because I tried to sell everything to everyone. That's a great point. And absolutely the mindset should be, I'm going to add value and I'm going to learn about this person. If this person doesn't need me, that's fine. If this person needs someone else that I know, I will recommend someone else. It's all about the client. It's all about the prospect. Thanks. Anyone else? Anything to share? Because I think it's massive topic, probably talking about mindset. Martin, you share something in a chat that you believe in the service and product you offer. Yeah. And that's the funny thing, that was a lot of books. We just talked about it in my coach. We read like 200 books about sales. And funny thing is, there are only two authors, they're talking about mindset. The massive and most important fact that if you don't have mindset, that you're still basically in 1995, because you don't care. You just basically learn the skill, how to say things, what to say, and you push it. That means what we do, we really need to believe in our product and ourselves. That means we need to believe that we are able to deliver what we sell, especially people in services. Like we start to sell, Terrey, like for example, you are in, law firm. If you imagine that you are working with not really great lawyers, and now you try to sell them, you're probably not going to sell it because you don't believe in that. I mean, when you see the results, it's happening, and you believe it's great, it's easy because you're going to help people. And I think that's the major kind of mindset shift, what is very much big difference from that 95 selling. What we do basically with the mindset, we call it environment. It's coming from critical alignment model from Sharon Pearson. And what I do with people, we basically set up the attitudes and beliefs. And if there is something that is limiting the person to go actually and sell, go online, do video and sell, or doing sales offline, or approaching people, or send cold messages, or even cold calling. People just They're so scared. And I'm sure I was scared. My first cold calling was like, oh, I'm not going to do it. Oh, I'm not going to do it. I don't know what to say. And I was just so scared. And after that, when I started doing that, I realized it's all about me believing what I'm selling and believing that if the person says no, that's fine. They probably don't need me. And if person say yes, that I will try to find out if they need me. That means it was all about that cold calling process was not actually to get 1995 results straight away, but it was 2022 thinking, let's just have a conversation. Let's just create relationship and see if we need each other, or maybe we can help each other different way. And Terrey, you were the one that answered on a cold messaging, and I think that's absolutely amazing when people actually are open to talk to other people, because I think networking is a big part of the business. Cool, guys. Ready to move to next one? Second thing is what people do a lot, and I was the same, I'm not saying I'm different. It was basically poor clients understanding from perspective that we don't have any idea who we talk to. We don't have any idea what type of energy is in front of me. And I can give you an example. I was listening sales conversation. Oh, it was driving me nuts. But I will tell you, that was the example from DISC, for example, that was C energy. That means that's the person that is really, really focused on details, really focused on facts, KPIs, all these small things and history and proof. And there was this person, we call them dominant or D energy, that was very much big picture thinker and was like, no, just show me the result I will get. That's all what I want. And now those two people sitting in front of each other and C energy trying to sell him, and he's talking about the product and it was like, yeah, we do this and that contains those 5 ingredients. Those ingredients, they're actually, some of them are growing in South America, and they are collected by 20 people. They really wash it and take care of it. And it was all these details. And I saw the person like, oh, Martin, can you please just mute yourself? I will try. Okay. And what was happening, it was basically the person was talking a lot about details, and you see the energy is like, oh, you're wasting my time. And this is going in his head. He totally lost him. He will be never able to sell him, even though that person will probably buy from him because he needed actually lose the weight. And that was the result he was delivering. But while he was trying to get into that result, what he can bring to that person, he lost him for like 25 minutes of conversation. And I was just looking at the person from that the energy perspective. And I said, you just want to go. You just want to know if you're going to lose 14 kilos or not. Yeah. And he was just like, yeah, just tell me. I just want to know. Like, that's all what I want to know. And I'm saying, when I'm in the room, and I'm the energy from perspective of like behaviors and how I interact with people. But from perspective of like, I don't like to waste time on details or conversations. They don't make sense. Like, I really need to see the value in the conversations. And some people can have 10 hours meeting and being with friends. They talk about anything. And honestly, it's normal. It is just different energy, different type of person. My partner is opposite. He can just talk nothing. And I'm like, you know what? This is really boring. I just can't handle. And I need to leave or need to learn. That means from our perspective as a salesperson, we need to start to really understand people in front of us. What are great tools? Maybe some of you know already some tools, profiling, but also communication. That means when I see people asking some questions or reacting on my, like I said, detail, and I see person that is not interested, you can see the facial expression. You can start to learn a little bit more about communication. You try to, mirror and match the person in front of you. You can see when they're getting uncomfortable, you need to switch. You need to, we need to see that. That means when you ask questions and trying to understand your prospect, it's all about understanding what they want, where they're coming from, what they like in their life, and asking questions more from that environment perspective. That means you ask them about their beliefs, what they believe, about the products, if they tried competition, if they have any experience. That means we don't go really like, do you want to buy or not? Or, we don't tell people the price straight away. We're talking about all that environment from perspective of them. What is their attitude? What they like to do? What is their hobby? What is their life? It is not that we try to be friends, but we try to understand. That means from here, I always say people learn listening skills. I mean, deep listening skills. Learn to be present. learn to really understand and ask open questions. Because sometimes people just ask questions and that's yes or no. That's not going to help you. But when you ask questions that are open, people start to talk about their life. And sometimes they're going somewhere in their life that you realize, this is great. This is actually what I needed to know. That means really, really listen and ask great questions. That's the part of the skill or part of the course, part of the skills that we learn in the course, because I believe to being a coach helped me so much to understand my clients, because we are basically working with questions, and learning different models for questioning helped me so much to have, those tools and have million different models and frameworks to use to ask questions. I mean, that is one of the most important part. They change also my business, my sales. And what do you think? What is the next part? Do you have any idea? You can just try to share if you think like, what is the first step? We have 4 today. We have 4 major things. Do you have an idea what else is very important? Okay, I will go structure. And now I'm talking to C energies. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, structure, a little bit of detail. I can probably talk about structure a lot, because that was basically something that I figured out, like that was missing in my business. And when I was doing sales, I can give you an example. Like it was in 1995, but it was a few years ago. I was going to networking. I had so many business cards. You can still see them. They're everywhere here in my office, but I had so many contacts. I saw so many people, and it was kind of okay. I was creating some kind of network, and sometimes I offer something. Sometimes I was talking with people and I didn't understand why they didn't buy, even though I felt like I understand them. I was all this kind of like guessing. And I realized that I don't have any structure in my sales process. Like I don't have anything that I can follow. I can, tick the boxes in my head. Like, yeah, I did this. I mean, so I realized that I will try to test and create a few different structures. And from one perspective, I will just share one structure from different perspective. Like it's from conversational perspective, because conversation is the most important part in sales. And it can be also applied in online marketing. So it doesn't really matter, because online, we do the same thing as offline, but people don't really think about it that way. Offline, we meeting people, we have chat, we go for coffee, we go for lunch, we try to contact person again, we set up some meeting, again, we have fun. Sometimes we do hobbies, or we go, I don't know, shooting range, or we do something fun with the person. And after that, we start to talk maybe a little bit about sales. What we do on social media or online, we do like, hey, that's me, buy it, this is good. That's all what we do. That means approaching the kind of sales structure, start to understand what we need to do. It's the first and most important thing is to create rapport. Does anyone know what does that mean? Like create rapport? You can just, unmute yourself, guys, and jump in.
It's basically setting yourself up with a level of trust and respect in the field that you're talking about.
Yeah, great. Absolutely amazing. Trust. Anyone else has any kind of word? I like to play with this.
Maybe breaking the ice between you. Breaking the ice or something.
Yeah. Terrey?
Being passionate about what you're talking about.
Awesome. I mean, we have some. Yeah.
I was just going to throw in also trusted advisor. So you're becoming this, I guess, expert in the field.
That is position yourself, yeah? Okay. Position as an expert. Cool. Okay. Rapport, it's all that what you say, it's a part of rapport for sure, because we are building trust. And thank you guys for sharing. It's all like really valid points, because when we create that expert or expertise around, and we are position ourselves as an expert, of course, we build the trust. I mean, it's actually all connected. What is great. And I guess the major thing to learn is the skill. And I will go back to understanding client and mindset, because all what you say, guys, like Leighton, when you said the attachment of desperation, when we have person coming from that perspective, like I just need to sell, you feel it. You see the energy, you know, the person just want to sell because of the desperation. The person is basically coming from that fight and flight mode. That means they are in amygdala hijack. They are in different brain. Like they have high cortisol. They just want to, you know, pump it and they just want to sell. Now from that level of cortisol, or from that part of brain, when we coming from the fight and flight mode, we are really, it's just visible. I don't even know how to explain, but I think Demartini said the word that we are not coming from intelligence. We're just coming from that silly brain, you know, like we coming from the part that is not able to ask questions and listen. That means we kind of shut down the listening part. We just want to talk and sell. And when we detach ourselves from the desperation and we come from that all positive mindset and really passion, and, you know, that we trust and believe in our product, then we actually can have normal conversation, and that normal, warm, nice atmosphere, not conversation about sales, but conversation about our prospect is so important. And that build the rapport. But what can help you as well, there are some communication skills. Like that's why I always said it's important to learn skill like, you know, matching, mirroring, understanding how to actually create that nice vibe, because you can actually create it with your body language. And I don't know if anyone ever was at communication or any kind of coaching training, but do you know, when you think about communication, do you know what is the percentage of words they're making actually the impact, and body language or tonality? Can you say like what is the percentage you think that words have impact on person? Just guess. Just have a guess.
20%.
Yeah, I was gonna say 20.
Good, guys, you're awesome. And it's exactly when, you know, when I'm sure that you heard that, like, it's not important what you say, but how you say that. And that's massive difference that people don't understand. It's not about words. You can learn the line, you know, from salesperson. And those books, these 200 books is all about that. Learn to say this, you know, when someone say, I don't have time, learn this, you know, this is the overcoming objection. It's not. If someone tells you usually they don't have time or money, that means you didn't spend enough time to build a rapport, because they don't trust you. Because when you know that person needs your product or service and they trust you, they will buy. There'll be no objections. And I will be super honest, past probably year, I didn't even have any objections from people. And it's just how we take care of this first part. If you can tick the box in our structure, like, okay, rapport done, it's perfect, it's 100%, that I can move to qualifying. That means the next step is qualifying part. And that's the step where we have, for example, our questionnaire. You know, we just ask questions based on some kind of, I don't know if you use form, if you have any kind of process that you use with people. I like to take people from different perspectives. We will talk about it later because there will be another step. But we need to have some kind of understanding, like what will actually qualify them. That means I ask as many questions from perspective of the product or service I actually sell, that if they are actually aligned with that, and understanding if they are prepared, if it is the right time, you know, and you basically talk about objections first with clients, and you clarify that before they're even, you know, able to ask and say like, I don't have time, because you already say that you have time, is right time for you. And that's the best way to really have clear rapport and qualifying part, that basically there is no objection, because you talk through objections ahead and you try to really understand your client. And next step is listen. Basically, that's the part of questionnaires. Usually when I do questions, and I have part when I'm asking actually how they want to do it, what is the best way for them to do it, what is the best, like sometimes we have delivery of the services different way. That means you're in that listen part when everything you need to know before you do sell. you need to know, like it's better to pay with credit card, it's better to pay by invoice, whatever information you need. That's the last part to basically take care of. That means there can be all logistics, there can be all details, and that can be the details that, you know, big picture thinker don't like. And basically after that is close. This is the structure, but from perspective of conversation. For me, if those 4 steps, report, qualifying, listen, close, done, and I can say, okay, I have all information, I can actually close the deal. That's what I will do. But from structure perspective, people have different structure. This one works the best because it's all about client. When I was working with different structures and I try, you know, send a form, do this, it was not enough. That means I was going through qualifying and listening. It's kind of like you create a report, but again, you qualifying and listening. You again qualifying and listening again and again, because that's the most important part. And at the end, when you ask for sales, you don't have no, you don't get no, you know, that's not for me, because you already know it's for them. That means this actually process will help you so much to just close the deal. Cool. Okay, let's move. Any questions, guys? All good? Okay. Process is the last one. Okay. And process, it's funny because I just got a message from a client and he said, no, I feel like I'm really good in sales. I was like, okay, how do you know? You feel that you're good or you are good. And it's interesting that people are like, oh, what do you mean? And I was thinking, okay, if you don't have proof or the process that you can measure that you are good, it's not that you feel good, it's not enough. Because we can feel good. We can feel good about our day. We can feel great about our achievements, you know, we can feel great about the sales conversation. But when you have process, you can actually measure if you did the sales the right way, if you get enough leads, if you get enough conversations, if you get enough closing the deals, you know, that means you can actually start to work on that and start to count all numbers and see how you're doing. That means all real, I guess, real picture of how you're doing in sales. It's all process and measurable process, basically the process that you can measure. Anyone here has sales process? Because I would like to open a little bit discussion about that, because this is a big topic. That means if you would like to jump and talk about that, what is your sales process? Martin, do you have any sales process?
Process as in what? I can't just sales process. Just mainly what I do is the person's really okay with what we've discussed so far and is prepared to go forward and make a purchase. Just ask him how he wants to pay for it, and then whether by credit card or by just giving me whatever.
Yeah, from perspective of process, I will probably clarify that we can actually maybe talk about that a little bit better. It's basically, when you think about your sales funnel, it doesn't need to be sales funnel that everyone advertise online. I don't mind if it's offline or online. We always have both as a prospecting strategies. If someone does only one, probably is missing on, you know, deals they can make offline when they do online. It's really good to have mixture of both. That means probably first will be like how are you actually getting leads? That will be probably first question that I always ask. That means where are they coming from or how do you get them? That means the first part is always leads, and that's measurable. That means when we go, let's talk about prospecting, because this is basically our prospecting strategy. Prospecting strategies, I do around 7 of them probably, or 8. Do you have any prospecting strategies, or what do you think is the prospecting strategy? Let's start there. Anyone? Yeah, let's share. How do you find your prospects? How do you prospect?
Me, I go knock on doors.
Yeah, cool.
I cold call. I network. I reach out to my existing, I suppose, well, in my obviously I've changed industries, but I've reached out to my old client base to help them connect me with either friends or clients that they may have that they can introduce me to within the medical space.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do everything.
You do everything. That's great. That's really
not everything.
no, that's basically what I'm missing is just probably the online part. Like this is all offline. Basically you are networking probably. That means you get referrals, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically sending emails. So I'll cold call, send an email, go out and do drop-ins and knock on doors, do the introduction and then follow it up with a phone call to try and get an appointment to get in front of them.
Yeah. I really admire that because it's a reality is that people don't do it. People are scared and it's all about this part. When people don't do what you do because they're missing this part, environment, that means beliefs, values, attitude, mindset. That means, guys, if you don't do all what Terrey said, that, for example, cold calls are so scary, as I said, and bold walking, we call it bold walking, knocking the doors. Basically, you walk into business, you introduce yourself. I did it. I'm in Fremantle, for example, in Western Australia, a small town. And I love it because it's, you know, a little bit laid back. I think all Western Australia is laid back, but Fremantle is special. And it's really nice to just go knock the doors and introduce yourself and, you know, say, hey, I'm here. I just moved my office there. And it's really nice. And people now know that I have office there and I meet them next time, for example, networking event, and we already know each other because I was knocking the door. But it's nice. There's nothing bad about that because I don't come in to the business to sell. It's just my prospecting strategy. That means it's building the relationship with someone and finding people. And that's basically when we just kind of qualify the prospects, because how we will find people, like they're not going to all find us. We need to be actively searching. And some people think that is enough to do Google ads. And yeah, of course, it can be good. You know, you spend $5,000, $6,000 or $10,000 on Google ads. And yeah, you can probably get results, but cheaper is to get results with your own attitude and your own activities. And you can do this all for free. That's the magic. And imagine how amazing conversion rate will be on that when you have these relationships and they will start to refer you. From Google ads, you probably don't get referrals. You know, you get people from all around the world, you know, they don't qualify all the time. Like you need to have really great funnel to set up online. Some people have that, and I think it's amazing, but we also have the offline marketing or offline prospecting. And I think it's really important for business growth, especially B2B. It's really good. That means, yeah, really, really grateful for sharing that, Terrey, because it's really, I think it's massive and it really requires the training and overcoming, you know, challenges and being brave enough to try it. Because I believe when you started, it was hard, you know, and it was like, oh, I don't know what to say. I have to talk to people, and it can be challenging. But when you take care of mindset, and also like I'm trying to fit in real scripts, like real thing that I really want to talk to people. I'm really thinking about message that I called email or cold message. I'm really thinking about what I say in phone, because we have 4 seconds to qualify through the phone and let people to say, yes, I'm listening to you. You have first 4 seconds to tell people your name, where you're calling from, and why you're calling from. If you take care of those 3 things when you're calling, cold calling, you can have conversation. That means, remember, it's so important that people are busy. We need to grab their attention. Okay, that means from the process, the first thing is to measure the leads. That means we are getting leads from networking. What I will suggest, how you measure networking, because that's the usual question. When you go to networking group that has 25 people, you have, you know, chat with everyone, you take some business cards, you go home and you're like, oh my God, I don't know who's this person anymore. That means there is nothing, there's no process. But when you're going to networking, you, first of all, you set up outcome. That's probably something I can share here. That means what do? You always set up the outcome for every activity you have. I'm sure you know Zig Ziglar, and he said, when you aim for nothing, you will hit it 1,000 times. It's my favorite quote. People that knows me, I always say that because it's just so cool and so true. If my mom and dad told me that I just need to set the goal for myself, I will be somewhere else today. When I realized I set up my first million goal, I was like, people were looking at me like, you crazy, like you can't have that. Even my partner was like laughing at me, like, how do you want to get that, you know, from zero? And I was like, don't laugh, it's my goal. And I can get it. And I was like, he was like, oh my God, okay. And now he sees me and he's like, oh, I don't know how you did it. I said, I just had a goal. I just had the goal set up. That means everything what I did was the outcome in my mind. When I'm going to networking, I'm setting up the goal to speak with minimum of 2 people. I mean, that real quality conversation. I speak probably with 6 people, but my target is to really, really find those 2 people that I can reconnect again. I can invite them for coffee again. I can actually have a chat with them. That means from 6 conversations, I pick up 2 or 3 people. Now, I only take the cards from those 2 people because there are 2 people I chose to actually come back and talk to them. I'm not giving anyone my business cards. I'm coming back and I'm taking care of my process, because my process is talk to people, taking the card and send them email afterwards straight away. That means I have email follow-up and I have another meeting. This is still kind of, I guess, prospecting strategy, but what is important, this will be something that will probably resonate with a lot of people because that open up my mind so much. At every conversation, at every call, conversation or meeting, always advertise another interaction. That means I realize that my outcome for every time when I speak with someone first 1 or 2 times, it's always advertise another interaction. Like, hey, that was great to meet you. Can I send you an email? After that, I send email. Hey, it was really great to see you. Do you want to catch up for coffee? It's always trying to get people again and again for some kind of meeting with you. Of course, if you feel like that can be resulting later on in probably sales or maybe helping each other or maybe referral partnership or maybe collaboration, whatever it is, but it has to have the sense and point. If it's just like, oh, yeah, I will just meet up with everyone, it's just losing the time. That means from that process perspective, is always important to have outcome set up. And when we talk about sales conversation, now you know where you're getting leads, for example, you're getting them from Facebook, LinkedIn, networking, you're cold calling, bold walking, whatever it is that you do. Now, what is the next? You know, then we need to understand what is the next step. I mean, when you contact those people and talk to them first time, is that another conversation. What I do as a second step in my process is usually, first one is meeting those leads and invite them at least for 20 minutes conversation. I think Gary can remember, I said, do you have 20 minutes time just for a quick Zoom? That means for me, it's 20 minutes conversation, but I don't want it over the phone. I want to see the person. I just want to have real chat. Now, after that, I can see in the conversation if there is possibility for collaboration or maybe help each other or work together or maybe exchange the services or whatever it is. Maybe we can buy from each other or maybe that person can buy from me. But another thing is when I'm sure, I will offer proposal. If that person is still like, we need to know each other because there are people, there's, I think it's as energy that no see energy. For example, those people need to see you like 5 times. And they will call you afterwards and say like, hey, can you tell me about this again? Can you tell me about this again? And they will call you another 5 times. It's not about you being bad in sales, or it's not about you or people that they're not interested in what you do, but there are those type of people and energies. They need 5 times approval. I was the same when I was buying my coaching course because it was so expensive. And I was like on the phone every second day with people. They really needed to tell me everything. It was very strange because I put in C energy and I'm D. That means it was really different how I made decision about $70,000, for example. But I will do different way decision about $5 or $10. That means also that is the big difference what you're selling. It's really important. That means from proposal, if I have proposal, it's easy. I will never send them proposal and just leave it. Don't do that. You will lose the person. When you're creating some kind of proposal, tell them that you will bring it on a meeting and you will have 10 minutes chat about that and bring and actually introduce your proposal as much as you can. It's much better. It's much better to talk to people and explain what is in your proposal because everyone reads a different way. If they can't make it for the face-to-face meeting, do it over the chat or Zoom, or in worst case scenario, just record, the explanation of a proposal. But I didn't actually have any recordings. I usually get people to talk to me because it's so important, because, you can run through the proposal, explain what does that mean, because they don't need to know, and how that will be delivered. You can actually talk through the options with them. It's so important to take care of that personally, not just send the email. If you're sending proposals in emails, you probably don't converting the clients. And if there is no proposal yet, there will be another meeting. That means I have fourth will be meeting, and fifth will be proposal, and after that will be close. That means I have 5 or 6 step process. If I don't close that deal with that person that I already met 2-3 times, I take the person or deal that I created and I put it into lost deals. Because you run through process, your process. If you will test it, you can add, one more step, and probably for some people, some managers, you will need to add more step. But this is the work that really works. This process close the deal with almost everyone. I don't have many lost deals. I usually can win the deal. Of course, if the person is totally not interested and just want me to help, that's fine. I will help if I can, but it's nothing. Yeah, if you know your client, when you go through this process and you understand them, you create a rapport, you qualify them, you can sell because they need you. That means this process is after that very easy. Okay. There's different process in online marketing, but do you want to share? Do you have any process, or did you ever think about your steps? How you do your sales? Come on, guys. I want to hear from you because it's just me talking and I'm getting dry.
I will do mine. I prospect for clients mainly on LinkedIn. If LinkedIn, possibly mainly on what do you call this meeting together to network. Yep. And people normally they will ask someone to make a presentation. Just maybe what do you call it? Yeah, just a presentation on LinkedIn, and people, if anyone is interested, then I'll call the person personally, mainly via Zoom, and then I set up an appointment on Zoom, and then we discuss the person's needs, and then I'll tell the person what I have to offer and whether it fits into what he wants to do. And if that is fine, then we set up another one that I'll explain in depth what the processes will involve. And then it's up to the person. I believe that I'll try as much as possible to close him. And if he's quite interested, then he will give me the go ahead and then we start. It's mainly on online, LinkedIn mainly.
I'll just write down small thing.
Yep.
That I noticed, and it's great what you do. I believe it's working for you, but a little bit can be maybe tweaked, a little bit, because what is happening is not on people. Of course, we're giving them we're giving them power to make decision, but we are in control. That means we are responsible for the deal. We are the person that is responsible if we win or lose. It's I always said, it's not fault. It's just our process, or is our mindset, is what we did in the sales conversation is our responsibility. When I lost the deals, I usually said, people write down all good things that you said, all good things that went really well. Don't try to focus on what was going wrong, because you build up unconsciously the pattern in your mind. That means you will actually get back to another sales and you will do the wrong things. That means you want to actually check what was going well. And after that, you just ask questions like, what can be done better? That means it's not about what went wrong, but it's what was done well and what can be done better. Now, when we think from perspective of mindset, where we think like, oh, it's on them, I gave them everything, I did all my process, it's on them to make decision. No, it's on us. It's our responsibility to talk to people, because what if you can help that person so much and they really need you and they can have that absolutely amazing growth with your service, and you just let them go, you just say like, it's your decision. We need to be that person that will help them to make decision. I mean, the right decision for them. The salesperson has to do just that. just help people to make the right decision for themselves. Never ever cheat, do wrong, try to push them to do wrong decision for them. You need to really believe it's good decision for them. That means, remember, when you know that, trust me, you will take responsibility. That means usually when we don't take responsibility is that we are not sure, but we are like, oh, we want to sell, we'll try, you know, and it's kind of like, yeah, like I just want to sell, but I'm not sure it's the best for them. But yeah, that means that's when it can happen. Like we actually kind of like put responsibility on them. Okay. Anyone else wants to share? And if not, I will just move quickly because we have last 10 minutes. Awesome. Okay. If you will want to ask anything, please just do. But what I was going to say, I will probably first ask permission, because what I did prepare something for you as a next step. And it is super cool. And I just want to be sure I can actually talk about it. Let me know with your probably thumbs up if I can. Cool. Are you okay, guys? Yep. Okay. I can see light on Peter and Pete, but hopefully they're fine as well. You can send me the message. And yeah, basically what I did from perspective of all these and success principles, there is 5 success principles, basically is about our outcome, behaviors, and self-awareness and process. Thanks, Pete. And basically all that structures we can build up in training, and 1 hour training is not enough. That means I decided to do something super cool, because I was actually selling that training, half-day training usually for people, but I decided to do special offer for 24 hours. And I don't know if I wrote it somewhere, but it is, I didn't share testimonials, guys, with you. I should show you some. Anyway, I was going to share some testimonials. I have these amazing clients that I help, and they are from Amazon. There was a lady, she wrote about the services, how she enjoyed. We work with RSM as well. Probably, you know, RSM accountants, and also with, for example, professionals. We work with professionals in Rockingham, and that's all real estate, and they're massive now. They're so busy. That means there's no point to go in real estate right now because they're all overwhelmed. But there was a few other clients, and from the perspective of training, I will just share these because it's really, I was thinking how best to do it, and I just realized a lot of people need help with sales, and a lot of people still hate the sales, and a lot of people really want to learn, but they don't know where to start. And I was thinking to create something that will help you to go deeper into those things that we just talked about. And I think what is important that we will actually learn the structure of those 4 steps in detail. That means I decided to put together mindset for success, some tools from that perspective, learn success principles. There will be those 5 principles, and really learn how to understand the clients. That means you will go through profiling, you will get a small disc profile, understanding how you actually talk. We will have a little bit of like a place with people in the session, and we will try to understand who is what kind of energy. That means we will really focus on that. And sales and prospecting structures and sales process. That means if you will need to create some sales process for online marketing, I will help you there, and offline, I will help you there. That means we will create individual strategies. And there are some bonuses and discount for the bootcamp. That's the 3 days one. But this one will be only $24. That means it's not, you know, anything to think about. It's 15th of March. It will be really quick, but it's around 3 hours training. It will be actually online again because we have some people from Sydney and New Zealand. And I want to be sure that people actually have access to that. That means I decided to do that. This was actually sold last time for $250. But I realized that why to don't spend more time together if we can actually talk and share, and we can learn a little bit more, and maybe, you know, send you out there, get some clients and talk about that, what actually was happening, how did you get your clients, and what we can tweak in the sales process. That means we can do all that together. And this is the code. I just try to make it so simple for you guys. That means if you will scan this from the screen, it should take you to a landing page where you can sign up for the $24 training. I can't wait to see people there. Like I have 2 people already sign up because they just didn't make it for today, but they were like, yeah, I just want to do sales training. That means there will be probably a group of people. I want to keep it around 12, 14 people. That means you will have a chance to talk. You will have a chance to actually share, and also you will have a chance to learn together with the group and do some exercises together. That means, yeah, if you are interested, just scan the code. And if you still thinking, just give me a call or let's talk about that and I can explain more about that. But it will be 3 hours of training. We will have small break between that. And it will be all just going to details in the structures and success principles and how to shift our mindset. All cool. Thank you very much for letting me do this, and I'll stop share. Thank you, guys. We are like almost perfectly on time, 5 minutes to go. Let me see if you have any questions. I will open up these to questions and things that you want to discuss or ask. I'm here. Please just use this time to chat. And thank you very much for being here. It's awesome to have you guys.
No, thanks, Alex. It was great.
Yeah, it was nice to see you. It was really
Thanks
nice.
very much. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Martin, for sharing as well.
Okay.
Guys, it's really helpful because I believe people learn from each other. I mean, if you have something to share, is always nice. And Leighton just left. He's give me this, but he left, I think. Yeah. Clara, how are you? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, Alexandra.
Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed, guys. And if you have any questions regarding the business development, business growth, and you just at some point you can make it for the session, please just let me know and feel free to discuss, because I ran this first time for $24, and I'm not sure when will be the next one, but this one is just, that was just decision I made with my coach. I said, let's do that. Let's add more value. Let's be 2022 sales technique, not be 1995. Just have people to pay and maybe don't, enjoy it or don't really need it. That means let's do that together. And yeah, I will let you go then, guys. Really, really thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And I can't wait to see you to grow and become better.
All right. Thank you very much, Alex.
Thanks. Thank you.
See ya.
See you
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Thanks. Thank you.